sus.
That's gonna be the first and last time I'll do an Among Us reference, and I wonder if people still play that game. Well, let's turn Soundwave back to normal. Let's get on with the review. Alright, much better. How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disasta, and today we are going to do the review of the Voyager class Transformers War for Cybertron Soundwave. I had this figure for a very long while, and I didn't get the chance to review this, so I apologize for this, but nonetheless, I'm still excited to review this figure because Soundwave is one of my favorite Decepticons. To get to know Soundwave, he is a communications officer for the Decepticons. He's always loyal to Megatron. He would never stab him in the back, unlike Starscream. Unfortunately, I do not have the War for Cybertron Voyager class Megatron figure, but I do have the full ride model Megatron kit. Even more bad news, I haven't built him yet. Before we start talking about the superior Decepticon, let's talk about the packaging first. Now, taking a look at the packaging, of course, this is a Netflix exclusive, and it's also a Walmart exclusive. By the time of the release of this video, I'm not sure they're still selling that. So your best bet will be Amazon, I guess. You look at this side of the box, we have a nice line art of Soundwave. And in the back, we see Soundwave and his cassette companions, Ravage and Laserbeak. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have the rest of them. Frenzy, Rumble, Ratbat, I don't know why. Maybe we'll get some in the future. Who knows? Hey guys, this is editing Plastic Disasta here. Don't mind Gundam and Godzilla jamming out with Soundwave. Well, it turns out there are other cassettes. I've been digging around, see if I can find Frenzy or Rumble just to double check. And if there is, let me know in the comments below. But I did manage to find the other cassettes, and I'm just going to show an image just to show you who they are. I don't want to take too much of your time, so let's get back to the review. But as you can see, Soundwave can convert to robot mode to cassette player mode in 19 steps, while Ravage takes 7 steps and Laserbeak takes 4. This side of the box we see a pretty badass line art. So, enough for the packaging. Let's talk about Soundwave. Now, I have heard that this figure is a retool of the Siege version. Unfortunately, I do not have this figure, so I can't make the comparison. But what I can say that this figure looks really nice from all angles, even to have a flat backpack. So what I'm trying to say is that this figure has almost no kibble, despite he does have some pretty weird gaps on the forearms, but nonetheless he still looks nice. The paint application on this figure is actually well done too, especially like the yellow borders around his chest, the yellow on the side of the chest, the silver, and the legs as well. Taking a very close look of the face, yeah, the silver is nicely done, but what I also noticed is that on the packaging, Soundwave's eyes are yellow. The eyes are supposed to be red, so the toy got it correct, but the packaging didn't. So you want to hear something funny? Siege Soundwave is supposed to have this red line going across the forearms, but the Netflix version, or the Netflix figure, if you want to call it that, doesn't. So that's a little odd on Hasbro / Takara's part. Okay, so enough about the painting. What about the sculpting? It's really well done. So if I had to nitpick, I think the forearms has a little too much detail. Almost reminds me of a Michael Bay Transformers. Oops, sorry, wrong continuity. And as for proportions, this is another nitpicking. I wish the legs could be a little taller, maybe just a millimeter or two. Moving on to his accessories, we're gonna start off with his iconic shoulder cannon. It can rotate and move up and down ever so slightly. Next up, you have his concussion blaster, and to use it, you just gotta push this little gray thing, hold this out until it clicks, and to make him use it, it just pegs into the hand like that. And if you want him to dual wield, you have another gun, and it also doubles as a baton as well. Notice how there's a hole right there? Well, you could take the shoulder cannon or the concussion blaster, put this peg in here, and it could be a hammer or a pickaxe. And I noticed mine that this little silver piece is loose. I think it's just my copy. If yours is having trouble, please let me know in the comments below. Hey guys, this is Editing Plastic Disasta 1 again. To fix that problem, what I did is that you have to push this barrel wing all the way in so it could be stuck there by friction, and there you go, it's not going anywhere. And if you don't want Soundwave to use weapons, you can always store them in the back. And that's how it looks. Of course, what would Soundwave be without his faithful companions? Ravage, and Laserbeak. I say the painting and sculpting of these two little figures is well done, even for, again, a small little figure. Just now, I just noticed a small Decepticon symbol on Laserbeak's head and these two little guns on the back of Ravage's legs. For articulation, I'm going to start off with Ravage. The head can move down and up. The forearms can reach out that far. It can move forward and back. And this can move forward and back. Back of the legs, it can move forward and back. And this can move forward and back. For Laserbeak, you do have some chicken action right up here. The wings can move back and forth. That's part of the transformation. And the legs can swing out and in. That's also part of the transformation. Now, overall, the articulation for these two companions, yeah, it's not bad for a small figurine. So other than that, I can let these slide. Now let's move on to the articulation of Soundwave. The head is on a ball joint. The arms can rotate. It can move out that far. You also get a bicep swivel, double bend at the elbow, no wrist swivel. The wrist can move in, but that's more of the transformation. Alright, hold on. I got to interrupt the articulation real quick. Now notice how this finger is sculpted in a way that it makes it look like he's pushing down this button right here. So you can pose it in a way that Soundwave is ejecting Laserbeak or Ravage. Brings me to the torso. So if you press this button, the cassette will launch. And unfortunately, you can only put one. So one stays in and one stays out. So you do get some pretty sweet interior detail. Alright, let's continue. You do get a waist swivel. The front skirt can move up that far. The back skirt can move out that far. The leg can kick this high. And the leg can move out this far back. The leg can move out this far, so it can do more than the splits. The leg bends at 90 degrees. You don't get a thigh swivel, but you do get a knee swivel and a very tiny pivot. One thing I forgot, you can also swing out these guns. Now, this is a carry-on from the Siege, and I'm not sure if he did it in the Netflix show, but it's a nice touch. Overall, the articulation, it's not great, but it's not bad, so it's good. Also, don't ask me how I managed to have Laserbeak on Soundwave's arm. It doesn't click. Haha, psych, I think I found a way. I managed to have Laserbeak to perch on Soundwave's arm and notice that he's not falling out. So what I didn't notice is that you have to flip out this peg, move the legs out, so you can perch on Soundwave's arm and it won't fall out. Size comparisons, here he is right next to the 1/44 scale RX-78-2 Gundam and the NECA Godzilla. And in terms of Transformer size, here he is right next to Earthrise / Kingdom Optimus Prime and Earthrise Starscream. Now on camera, it looks like Starscream and Soundwave are the same height, but if you have these two in person, Soundwave is a little taller than Starscream, so I guess you could say Soundwave is the bigger man than Starscream. Okay guys, it's just a joke. Starscream is an interesting character to me. And just for the heck of it, let's throw in a deluxe character, Earthrise Blue Streak, and a leader class, Beast Wars Megatron. Oh yeah, and of course, core class, Rat Trap. Alright, now that you've seen Soundwave in his robot mode, let's turn him into the cassette player. Keep in mind, you're going to do the same thing for the other side. Okay, now that Soundwave is done, we got Laserbeak and Ravage. Again, this is also a repeat, and I kind of messed up. You're supposed to leave the back leg out so you can bring the front legs in, swing this down like that, and then you can bring the back legs in. And so here you have Ravage and his cassette mode, and of course you can insert in Soundwave. And of course I didn't forget you, Laserbeak. Just like that. And here you have Soundwave in the cassette player mode and his companions in the cassette mode. And I gotta say, transforming Soundwave and Laserbeak is a blast, but I'm having troubles with Ravage. Maybe I haven't transformed in a while, so forgive me on that. And taking a look at Soundwave, he's basically a glorified brick, and that is the point of his transformation. No wheels, no wings, no anything, just a static object. And what's also really nice is that you also get new details. You should get the play button, fast forward, rewind, stop, and record, and unfortunately you don't get to press them. Of course, you still have this feature. Well, taking a look at the back, I've been having some problems about storing this silver gun, so if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments below. Or if I messed up. Maybe that's convincing enough. As for the robot kibble, well, you can tell that's basically the arms, and taking a look under, yeah, that's also obvious that it's the legs. I mean, come on, you're not gonna display it like this, are you? Size comparisons, here they are with the big G's, Godzilla, and the Gundam. And here he is right next to Optimus Prime and Deep Cover. Now, I know why this may look kind of ridiculous to you, that this cassette player is pretty big. Now, if you've seen the G1 cartoon, there's a thing called mass shifting, where Soundwave actually transforms into a handheld cassette player. Alright, let's turn Soundwave back to his robot mode and move on to my final thoughts. Alright, so here are my final thoughts. Overall, it's a good figure. You get a nice looking Soundwave, really great details, really nice paint apps, but the articulation is lacking in just one area, which would be the feet. As I show you, it's only one little pivot. Speaking of paint apps, I wish we could use a little more red, like those little red details on the shoulder cannon, and a little red stripe that, oops, I guess I dropped Laserbeak, and a little red stripe that goes around the gun, or shoulder cannon I mean. And I did forget to mention that there are 5mm pegs around the arms, so you can store the guns right there if you want to. But in the end, I still highly recommend this figure. If you can look past all of its flaws, you will love this figure. Okay, that should be the end of the review. I had a great time reviewing this figure, and if you like this sort of content, please be sure to subscribe to see more. If you have any questions or any concerns, comment down below, leave a like as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, look at this. Backdrop. I guess that makes it worthy of a Voyager price, and is leaning back on my backdrop as well.